Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Crate and Crowbar Plays Dark Souls. I'm Rich Stanton.
I'm Marsh Davies, and hopefully we've remembered to record this particular episode.
Yes, we have. So, we were going to try out some sweet hats,
Yeah.
I believe. Now, you wanted to try this one.
Yeah, we can wear that.
Dark Sun.
That was pretty gross, but it's also going to remind Gwyn of his dead child.
Well,
yeah.
You're a sadist, Marty. What about Artorias' helm?
That looks weird on your head.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Not very colour coordinated, is it, with
No.
the red outfit? What about Ornstein? Bit too...
Your head must be very small to fit inside that.
It's just got a massive neck, hasn't it? Very, very odd. Okay, Gwendolyn's. I wouldn't like to, fight you in a dark alley, Marty. Oh, look, we've got an attractive little shawl on the back of our head. Makes us look like a bride. So can we? Oh, we've got to jump down to Kiln the first flame. It ain't no biggie. This is a sadistic side to you I haven't seen before. Wanting to remind Gwyn of his...
Well, I mean, we've already killed his son, and we're going to kill him, so we might as well make it quick.
all right. So, in we go. Welcome back to the Kiln of the First Flame, or Firelink Altar, I should say. And,
no need to kindle that.
Which reminds me, so, Great Fireball... Get that instead of Fire Orb. We still want Power Within. We're not really going to be using the Pyromancies, to be honest.
Okay.
They will not be effective at all against the surviving Black Knights. Do you like the music in this area?
Very ethereal.
Very ethereal indeed. Very sad area this, I think. The way they walk has a kind of doom nobility to it. You are right though, they do. Oh, I'm just gonna, I'm a bit of a fool, I'm gonna reverse hollowing. And because we might get a little bit of PvP action, which
You think so?
well, I don't mind getting one or two fights, from this last episode. We might as well.
Sure.
I'm not so sure about summoning people, I don't know if we want to summon people for the last fight.
It's your fight, Richard. It's your fight alone.
Yeah, indeed. Unless we lose like 50 times, then please help me. We'll get the old wood carving out. And this is what's going to be happening to Gwyn. Clonk. So, what have we got? Good luck. Good luck, that person says. Let's give him a little upvote. We haven't been upvoting enough people. So...
No summons?
No summons, although not that we're going to summon anyone anyway. It looks a bit better once we've reversed hollowing, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Once we've lost the raisin look. I've actually forgotten what her face looks like. Oh,
jubilant.
Yeah, we've got that attractive purple hair as well. Do we have red eyes? Or am I just imagining that? Oh no, I am just imagining it.
Blue-green.
Very, very jubilant.
Anyway, let's do it.
Alright, let's get that helm back on. Crown of the Dark Sun. Oh, should we have a little look and see your theory with the Sunlight Maggot, actually? Lastly, I promise. So there's the Crown of the Dark Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sunlight Maggot.
Huh.
Yeah. Definite,
parallel, but not the same.
I don't know, like, that's three on each side and one at the top, that has.
It would make sense that he was trying to find like an ersatz version of this.
Indeed. 3 on each side, 1 on the top. Some people think Solaire is a red herring because it is too obvious, they say. But I just don't buy it, like I kind of... Like, what is it, Godwin's Law, that the... shortest route to something?
Oh no, that's Occam's razor. Godwin's law is that everything gets compared to the Nazis.
Oh, isn't it compared to Hitler?
Oh, well, yeah.
I've often thought, Gwyn's like Hitler. I tend to, side with Occam's razor in all things, as well as Godwin's law. And yeah, it just seems too plausible. Did you see that parry? Pretty
what
sweet.
A lovely parry.
Thank you. Clonk. Oh,
Splash.
you poor Dark Knight. Black Knight, I should say. Yeah, it kind of, like that thing about the old god of war still watches over his warriors, you know, and that persuades me. The fact that he's looking for his own son, and that he was the god of the sun and was stripped of his deific status. The fact that his gear has no special powers, so his prowess must have come from his own training.
The fact that he's looking for an item which will make him look more like one of the children of Gwyn.
Yeah, indeed. Well, that's how he ends up, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, which is kind of interesting. Like after he's given up, he ends up with that item. So yeah. Whoa. Oh, what's this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally lost it on the old parry angle there. Although, you know, considering how we beat this guy the first time, that kind of counts as some sort of victory, I think. Bye bye, my friend. Oh, I think we might have enough to make this as zwei +4 now, which is nice, but you know, we've got other fish to fry, or gods to burn, I should say. Oh, interesting point actually. Our lightning zwei isn't going to be super effective against Gwyn because
He is the god of lightning.
Indeed, but like it's not going to be bad enough that we like. It's not going to be doing no damage to him. It's just not going to be doing its possible max. Plus one of the you'll see Gwyn anyway, and I particularly like the music in Gwyn's fight. Oh, he's a saucy one. Bonk.
Oh, he blocked that as well.
He did. The old.
He's got the moves with that halberd, isn't he?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, sugar. Kind of totally screwed that. Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. Bravely ran away. Glug glug glug. Oh.
There you go.
Your last mistake, Mr. Black Knight.
I'm sorry.
I will have your lovely blue Titanite chunk.
Titanite of every colour, apparently.
Now, here we go. Let's see if it freaks him out to see his last born child.
Ah, I thought he'd be bigger.
Well, indeed.
This kind of poignant sounding piano music in the background.
Well, the thing is, you know, this is Gwyn. Oops. Well, he's got enough Gwyn to see us off for sure. But
Ouch.
yeah. Indeed, he is oh shit, he got me.
Is that it?
No.
No, not quite. It's weird that he's using fire, considering that he's the god of light. I know he's trying to rekindle the first flame, but you know, given how low the gods are of pyromancy.
I just parried his ass.
Bosh! Take that, father of the gods.
I'm sorry, Gwyn.
Lord of Cinder, it says.
Indeed.
No longer the Lord of Light, Lord of the Sun. Hits hard, doesn't he?
He does hit hard. Well, you wouldn't expect much less. But yeah, so he's not the god of flame anymore. He's the god of cinder. And he's clearly some sort of hollow, you know, some sort of shell of his former self. Hence the music, really. Like, you get that from the music more than anything else.
Faded glory.
Indeed. Bonk. Yeah, well, you know, faded glory or not, they don't like the lightning's
They
vie.
certainly don't. That has some reach, that attack, doesn't it?
Yeah, indeed. His sword's awesome, I think. You can actually, whoa, he almost got me there. Oh, hello. Ha ha ha. Taking cunning advantage of a pillar there. Well, not cunning enough, he still clonked me, didn't he? Ah. Oh!
Gwyn.
Yeah, he's still got the moves, hasn't he? Still got
thrashing
the moves.
away, even though you're dead. Oh no, he's had enough now. Ugh.
Yeah, so his face is like totally, you know that thing I
right,
say about
yeah.
us looking like a raisin. You know, he's kind of hollowed, but not in quite the same way. Like it's, basically, it's interesting that the other beings we fight aren't quite hollowed in that way. Like he's gone there to link the first flame, and it's exploded in some sort of way, killed all his knights. It's kept the fire linked. You know, the fires are still existing. You know, this is still some sort of age of fire, even if the flame is fading.
Not now. The dark is coming to claim him.
Indeed. But Gwyn isn't quite. He hasn't survived the process in any meaningful sense. You know, that is clearly not quite Gwyn. That is like the shell of what was Gwyn.
So, do you think that the gods are kind of earnest? Or rather, you know, Frampt and his allies are earnest in trying to rekindle the fire? That they think that you could replace Gwyn?
Well, the interesting thing is that I mean, what's happened to Gwyn? Like, it doesn't suggest that this is going to be a good thing for us, for sure. You know, like, but it seems to be, I don't know, it seems to be some sort of good thing for Gwendolyn, for example. I mean, like, he's able to keep his existence going while the flame is lit, even if his father is, you know, some sort of horrible, hollowed shell at the bottom of a pit.
Yeah.
I guess the interesting thing is, do Gwyn's motives align with what these other people say Gwyn's motives were? If you see what I mean, because, you know, Gwyn can't speak to us. You know, he's just this kind of zombified mummy. And where was this his intention? Was he really this dude that trembled at the dark? Oh dear, come on, there we are. Yeah, I mean, there's just no way of knowing, but there is, like, I do kind of think Gwyn is an heroic figure. Like, I do think...
Well, he sacrificed himself for whatever cause. Like, I mean, that shows a level of selflessness, right?
Exactly. Like, there is this kind of aspect to him where even if Gwyn was wrong, he thought he was doing right. And, like, I do think, like, the alternative we've seen, the Age of Dark, whatever you want to call it...
looks kind of shitty.
Yeah, it does look kind of shitty.
So is that the age of man, as Karth says?
Well,
that doesn't seem like a great future for anybody.
No, yeah, indeed it doesn't. But then we come to the nature of the Dark Soul itself. What is the Dark Soul?
Maybe it's analogous to humanity, or if not exactly the same matter.
Well,
I'll let you concentrate.
Yeah, just finish off this dude. So one of the things that we know from Gwyn's soul is that souls can be split. Oh, so we got a Black Knight Halberd there. Lovely. Let's have a little look at that and see if it's got any tasty lore for us. So we know that souls can be split, which, when it comes to the Dark Soul, would suggest that
it has been divided many times and has become a resource known as humanity. Indeed.
And burning it in some way keeps the fires going. So this incredibly powerful soul that was, so just quickly here, Halberd of the Black Knights who wander Lordaeron, used to face chaos demons. Chaos demons came out of Izalith. So clearly, remember we were saying a couple of episodes ago that when Izalith went wrong, when that attempt to recreate the first flame went so badly wrong, all these chaos demons came out of it, and they tried to kind of hold up against it. So clearly Gwyn and his knights went down to try and sort this, but somehow couldn't. But yeah, he went down with his knights, basically, Gwyn, and tried to stop whatever was happening there. They couldn't, so this is when they sealed everything off. But yeah, getting back to what we were saying about the Dark Soul and humanity and burning, so we know that you kindle fires, you make them more powerful by sacrificing humanity. We also know from some of these abyss sorceries that humanity is kind of drawn towards itself, which is kind of interesting. Like, there's no like where in the game it says this, but the strong suggestion a lot of times is
to accumulate.
Exactly. So this great soul that was divided is somehow trying to put itself back together, perhaps. Oh, I missed him.
It's not going to get back entirely together, is it? Oh.
Too much chatting. Too much chatting.
Too much lore.
Yeah, indeed. I think we can run past the knights, which I may do this time. But also, very excitingly, I'm secretly glad that's happened because we've got enough titanite chunks. If I just chug some souls here. We'll use that one. I think we've got enough to make our lightning zwei +5. So this may have turned out to be a very bad thing for Gwyn. Oh, this is...
Oh, holy moly.
Oh, mama. Very nice. Very nice. Looks no different. Does a lot more ass kicking. And let's pop a humanity. Yeah, so there's this kind of idea that humanity is somehow trying to get back together, which would, you know, obviously, I don't know, that would match up with the idea that it at some point in the past been split.
I wonder, and again, it's kind of comes down to what the original words are in Japanese, but whether humanity is actually a separate notion from being a man, and whether the kind of race of men are actually just vessels for this other substance that in the game is called humanity.
Indeed, men are furtive pygmies. Or it would seem that way at least. And then you get to, you know, like that phrase is such an interesting phrase, like furtive. You know,
mistrusted by the gods. No
well,
doubt.
what did these other beings do when they got great souls? They immediately decided, or not immediately, but pretty quickly decided that the way things were with the dragons lording it overall was not acceptable, and that they would be kings. Whereas the furtive pygmy doesn't seem to have quite agreed with this. He takes no part in the battle against the dragons. He's just not mentioned. So he obviously gets his great soul and just slinks off somewhere. But the nature of these souls, clearly from, you know, they attract things. You know, people want great souls. And even if it's only the case that a great civilization like Izalith or Anel Londo is built around you, or that you become the Lord of Death and have all your minions and grave lords around you, great souls attract things. You know, you have to become a kind of magnificent being of some kind. And if you're furtive, perhaps you don't want that, and perhaps some way around it is in splitting that soul into as many pieces as possible and dispersing it. I don't know. I mean, there are different ways to interpret that action. Like, is it a selfless action? Or is it something that is intended to come back together at some point in greater force? And is Manus the pygmy? Like, we know from, I think it's either Goff or Marvellous Chester calls him Primeval Man, so first man, basically. So if the furtive pygmy is indeed man, then he's Manus.
Right.
Like, but we just don't know that the furtive pygmy is human. It seems too likely. Too coincidental, like it would be coincidental if he wasn't. But
nice.
Yeah, that's
also nice.
I think you're kind of getting a sense now for what I mean when I say like so much of this is interpretation. Like you can pull these threads together and come up with a very different tapestry. But look who it is. Now here's an interesting thing about Gwyn. He is actually quite weak to fire, which you just wouldn't expect.
Oh yeah, gosh, super weak to fire.
But kinda makes sense, doesn't it? Because he is an undead husk, and we know that undead are weak to fire. So
I think he'd probably keep his blade further away from himself.
Good point.
Accidentally set himself afire.
Whoa. And I think it's zwei time. Zwei time!
Ooh.
Oh, he ran me through.
Man, you don't get many chances to make mistakes in this fight, do you?
No, it is. I do think it's kind of an awesome fight again because it's just like a sword fight. Come on then, Gwyn. Here we go.
You gonna flame his ass this time?
I will flame his ass once I get a suitable distance.
Oh,
Lord of Cinder, still got the moves. Oh,
He really
wow.
does.
This guy is being...
Saucy.
He is being saucy. I almost like saw us taking 3 or 4 hits in a row there and just getting bummed again in short order. Wow!
He's dodging all your attacks this time.
Oh,
Clever swine.
he's a
Jeez.
clever swine. I'm quite glad Gwyn's giving a good account of himself, to be honest.
Yeah, it would be a
You know,
bit of a damn squib if this battle went without a hitch.
Well, one of the things I kind of wanted to mention is that I can already see the YouTube comments going, you know, oh, you should have parried him. And it's like, there is a way to cheese this fight by just kind of parrying him, and it's relatively like easy to parry him. And I know I did it once in the first round, but I kind of don't like that. You know, I know it's maybe a bit too interpretational of me, but I just don't like cheesing Gwyn. Something feels wrong about it. I like to fight him like a man, you know, kind of, you know, mind you, if he kills me any more times, you know, all bets are off. But yeah, there is something about kind of, sugar.
You're right, amazingly. No, you're not.
Yeah,
so much,
that
though.
kind of. So we're gonna parry this guy. And, oh, I'm sorry, Martin.
It's that time in the night.
It is that time of the night, right? Here we go. Through we go. Come on, Gwyn.
Show us what you got.
I got your
Actually,
number.
don't show us what you got
Yeah.
this time.
Just stand around and get flamed to death. That'd be lovely.
Fall over, perhaps skewer yourself on your own flaming sword. That'd be great.
Ooh. Oh, he tried to
like
dodge
it.
that one.
Doesn't like it. Is it better to go for one of the kind of contact pyromancies? So you can't dodge that, but I mean, then you are quite close to him, which is probably a bad idea.
Yeah, I just don't think being close to Gwyn is like,
What you want?
yeah, it's not in my OkCupid profile, you know. It's like, please stay away, former flame gods.
Thanks. Long walks at the beach.
I did just black flame him though, and he did not like it.
Black flames.
237. Let's see if pure flame in the form of great combustion does more. Oh, it does. So black flame with its humanity does less damage. Kind of interesting. Although actually, I think that was because it was a counter. Oops!
Good dodging.
Almost got us there. Yeah, so we get more when he's kind of in the middle of a dodge or something like that. Ugh. Let's finish him off with the sword.
Take him out like a king he is.
Oh, bye bye, Gwyn. Finally.
Praise the sun.
Down he goes. His eyes, hollow sockets.
Bit sad about that, isn't? You know, it's not. It doesn't feel like a supreme victory, really. It feels like
No, it's not a triumphant ending, is it? It's one of the awesome things about Dark Souls, really. Soul of Gwyn. Now look at that
Wow.
compared to the other ones. Incredible power. Soul of the Gwyn, unfortunate. Lord of Sunlight and Cinder, who linked the first flame. Lord Gwyn bequeathed most of his power to the gods and burned as cinder for the first flame. But even so, Lord Gwyn's soul is a powerful thing indeed. So we don't find that out until we kill him, that he bequeathed most of his power before leaving the world. So he gave some to Seath, he gave some to the Four Kings, which suggests
why they had that shard of the soul.
It suggests the New Londo fell after Gwyn left.
Oh right, of course, yeah.
I don't know. That's my interpretation. As you know, as everything in this is like your interpretation or otherwise. But we have a choice now.
Oh, there's a bonfire there. Should we sit it?
Well, our
Oh,
choice is we can link the flame, or we can walk away.
Yeah, I don't think we should. It's not an easy decision, but you know, the gods have had their time. This is ushering in an age of dark. Perhaps it's the time for the dark soul, i.e. humanity, to
Indeed.
find itself.
Well, one quick thing to talk about before we make a decision is that somebody mentioned I should have told you about Solaire's alternative ending,
Yeah.
which is that you can save Solaire, but it's a very obscure process. You need to go to the Daughter of Chaos, and you need to offer her 30 humanity, and then remember that door we opened after killing him in Lost Island? That opens from the other side. And you can go through and kill all those bugs.
So he never finds them.
So he never finds them. And then he survives, and he has a last summon, which is...
the battle we just fought?
Indeed.
Wow.
Indeed.
So, that's interesting, isn't it? Because he's dedicated to Gwyn throughout, and does he come to is there any hint that he has come to a realisation of Gwyn's
there is
duplicity?
I believe Miyazaki himself said that in Solaire's world, Solaire links the flame if you do that. So which, is not any great surprise, like that would be him fighting
so
his
he
own
is the
son.
dark soul in his world, and he supplants Gwyn as the Lord of Light.
But he's, interestingly, he's the only NPC that can get that far. But, so there is the first flame.
Oh, I see. So you would sit at the bonfire and it would rekindle the first flame.
Indeed.
Well, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
So
let's plunge the world into darkness.
I've only got one thing to say to your corpse, Gwyn. Have we got time to say one more thing before we walk out here, Marty?
I believe we do, yes.
What would that be?
Wow. What is it?
Let's find out what it is. Onwards! Nice hat.
My lord, bless thy safe return. Let Carth and Fraft serve your highness. We are here to serve your highness.
Don't we look jubilant? So, there's more than Frampton and Cath.
Yeah.
Lots of serpents, and they are bowing to us, saying their lord has returned. Returnedest, indeed.
Wow.
And there we go.
Well, that's a wrap. Gosh.
Doesn't fill in the blanks, does it? Hidetaka Miyazaki, aka Badass, that should say. I love that.
All these people are heroes.
All these people are amazing heroes. So what's your take on that, Marty?
Man, I really don't know. I don't know if we did the right thing. I think, I don't like the serpents. They're obviously a bunch of lying motherfuckers, but
they did bow to us at the end.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, there's so many of them. So you see what I was saying about when he says the toothy serpent in Ilisil. Like, you can't say for certain it's Frampton Cat, because clearly there's loads of them.
Yeah.
Or, is that them? Are they like a multi-headed beast? Like, it's very hard to, say definitely that is 10 serpents or 2.
So what happens if you take the other ending? What's the cutscene you
If you take the other ending, you link the fire and are consumed by it. So you see basically the arena we just fought Gwyn in, and you sit at the fire, and as you link the bonfire in that animation you always do, where your hand's over the kind of sword in it, your hand lights on fire, and then your arm, and then your whole body, and he kind of, your figure, your avatar, jubilantly, well, not jubilantly, I was saying that because we're a jubilant Katarina. Your figure kind of stands up almost in a kind of cross-like pose, and a flame, and the flames just get brighter and brighter and brighter. And
do you see what effect that has on the land?
No,
no clue whether it works or not.
Because you die.
Yeah,
you are consumed by linking the fire. So yeah, like at least we're alive in the dark ending. But I'm very unsure, as to what happened. So we're actually at the credits for the DLC now, so it shouldn't be too long before we like one of the themes of Dark Souls is cycles. You know, it's cyclical. In the sense that if you had replaced Gwyn, you would have become the Gwyn.
Yeah.
You know, for another chosen undead.
So I wonder how many chosen undead have actually supplanted Gwyn.
Indeed.
Was that Gwyn at all? Was that the original Gwyn? How many other Gwyns have there been?
Here we go.
Oh,
you know.
God.
Yeah. Time and
Down the
London
rabbit
is
hole.
convoluted, as I believe Solaire says at the start. Heroes centuries old phase in and out. It's, yeah, kind of curious. And remember that, of course you do, that thing we've been talking about throughout of lots of people think they're the chosen undead.
Including
like,
all other players of Dark Souls.
Yeah, and
they're
it's
obviously a part of your universe in a substantial way.
Yeah. So it's kind of like there are all these chosen undead, some of them linking the fire, some of them choosing to become the Dark Lord. And clearly, with the Four Kings and whoever it was at Ulusil, they decided to try and become the Dark Lord in some sense by ushering in the dark and going for this power life drain. Like the whole thing with life drain that makes it interesting is that it is a method of bringing humanity together, because you steal humanity from other people. The Dark Wraiths, who, you know, lots of people join just because they're invaders and it, you know, lets you grief other players, they're about gathering humanity. When you kill, you can only invade players who are human, and when you kill them you get their humanity, you know. So it's like the Dark Wraith is actually about collecting humanity for the serpents. So,
of course, yeah.
Lots of people are trying to pull
the Dark Soul
back together. Yeah. And perhaps we just did it. Perhaps we are the Dark Lord. Interesting.
Is that a good thing for the world? Who knows?
Well, it's interesting they say they're returned. Returned as if.
Well, we are the furtive pygmy, I guess.
Yeah, so where are they, the servants of the furtive pygmy? Interesting that serpents were around. So, yes indeed, the dark sign brands the undead. So we have been reborn in the undead asylum. We are, we haven't lost any of our equipment or abilities, but we've just been reborn as an undead back in our cell.
Well,
and New Game Plus begins, where the enemies are a lot tougher, and we can go through it in a different way, find different things, do different NPC stories, etc., etc. Yeah, and there we are, with the helmet of Gwyn's third-born son. And really, I'm just waiting for a moment to get up and say one thing, Marty.
Can't imagine what that would be.
Well, it will come very soon. But we will, first of all, see our erstwhile saviour. Do you remember how long ago this was?
Yeah, God. It seems like a millennia.
Pretty awesome game, isn't it?
You're going to be dead soon, pal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it goes for everyone in Dark Souls, doesn't it?
It does.
Unless you're the Dark Lord. So perhaps there will be further opportunities to chat about this in the future.
You will probably come back, we'll probably play a bit of New Game Plus, talk a bit more about the lore, do some invading.
Oh yeah, why
but
not?
For now,
this evening, do you want to do the honours, Marty? Seeing as you chose to become the Dark Lord, I think it's only right you say it in the manner befitting of a Dark Lord. See you later, folks.
Well, what is it?